Under the new House proposal, minimum wage would be increased in three-step increments. For large employers, the minimum wage would increase to $8 per hour in 2014, $9 per hour in 2015, and $9.50 per hour in 2016. For small employers, minimum wage would move to $7.25 per hour in 2014, $7.50 per hour in 2015, and $7.75 per hour in 2016. The proposal includes language which would adjust minimum wage in the future based on inflation and based on GDP growth. The amount allowed for maximum minimum wage increase would be capped at 3% in any given year. The House is offering some significant changes to try to get Senate lawmakers on board, including capping the work week to 40 hours for all employees, except those in agriculture.
One thing we've tried to do is identify for the few senators who don't support indexing, what are some of the issues that they're concerned about. So in our offer that we brought back 2 days ago, we lowered the minimum wage rate that we had initially suggested down to $7.75 for small employers and for a training wage, which is people who are under 20 and in the first 90 days of their employment. So we adjusted those numbers down for some of those concerns that we heard from senators.
Winkler said he would like to see a minimum wage bill pass soon.
I'd like it to pass ideally before we go on our Easter break. It's kind of funny, there was an article or an editorial in the Moorhead or Grand Forks newspaper from a Lutheran bishop up there who talked about the season of Lent and the minimum wage and the need to index it for inflation. So the way I thought about it is that we need to index for Lent. And so my hope is that we do it before we go on break and that we can actually get this done. And then when we come back, we can deal with some of the other budget issues, bonding, and all the other bills that will be coming through this session. I don't want to get the minimum wage tied up in that end of session scrum.
The Minimum Wage Conference Committee is expected to get underway shortly in room 200 of the State Office Building. The meeting could last 20 minutes, or if the Senate presents a counteroffer, the meeting could recess and come back later in the evening. Let's now go to our live coverage of the Minimum Wage Conference Committee.
Conference Committee for House File 92 will come to order. As we left the room last time, we had an offer that we made to the Senate. The Senate was planning to talk it over and was hoping to get back to us. And so this is our opportunity for the Senate to let us know what you're thinking.
Mr. Chair, Senator Tomassoni would like to explain our caucus.
Madam Chair, I don't know that we have enough time or that we want to deal with that.
I think if you...
I mean, the meeting last night.
Oh, you don't want me to tell them about everybody in it?
Senator Tomassoni.
Because I'm still trying to understand our caucus, too. But, Mr. Chairman and members, Senator Eaton showed the caucus your offer, and the inflationary factor is still a problem. And so I don't know what to tell you other than that the offer is not going to be acceptable to us.
Senator Tomassoni, it's uncharacteristically brief for your body, but we appreciate the comments. So, is there any thought from the Senate of responding, aside from no thank you?
Well, if the House will tell us that they're willing to drop the inflationary factor, we could have an offer.
And I guess another question for the senators is, I understand today that the majority leader co-authored a bill for a constitutional amendment that included indexing. Is that a representative position of the caucus, that indexing is acceptable if the voters approve it? Or is that just kind of a statement from two senators? That's a question from any senator.
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, it's just, I'd like to better understand the position of the Senate.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Eaton.
it was not discussed with me, so I have no idea if other people support it. I only know that Senator Rest and Senator Bach are listed on the bill as co-authors.
Okay. Well, anything from House members? Representative Metza.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I guess it's more of just a statement. I've been following a little website that's been tracking some of the Senate responses to indexing, and it seems to me like there's 34 votes on there, so I was just curious as to the accuracy on that from my side, and if I'd just challenge the Senate to maybe throw it up on the floor and see what happens.
I don't see anybody rising to that bait, Representative Metza. Okay, well, I don't see the House bringing back an offer without indexing, and the Senate doesn't seem to be interested in having a conversation at all about it outside of a constitutional amendment context. But because hope springs eternal, I think I will recess the conference committee today instead of adjourn it, and hope that we might get into a more constructive phase of negotiations than we have been so far. And if there is nothing further, we are in recess.